Right. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Untitled Document podcast. That is the name now. We're going with it. I've decided. So the Game Awards were last night, or this morning for us, I should say. And yeah, it happened. I think first of all, before we start anything, let's just get into the first thoughts. We're not going to talk about nominations. Let's just talk about the show in general. Before we get into the like I said, what won, that kind of stuff. I want to go just over the show in general because I have a lot to say, and to be honest, none of it's positive. I really hated the show this year. I thought it was terrible. It was advert after advert. I've got a quick before we start. I've got a quick metric here. This is from someone on Twitter, Haley Elise. So if this is wrong, don't blame me, blame her. And so this is the time allocated per section for 3 hours. By the way, this is what happened at the Game Awards. So overall, the winners' speeches, the big thing of the Game Awards, only accounted for 10 minutes of the runtime. Musical numbers took up 13 and a half minutes. Award presenters took up 26.5 minutes. Other presenters, and this includes like people, celebrities coming on stage not to present an award but to talk about like something they're promoting, that was 42.5 minutes. I'm pretty sure 12 of them are Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele. And trailers and adverts are nearly an hour and a half. It's an hour and 28 minutes. Now, if it's not obvious what I think the problem is here, I'm not even going to bother saying. Just stop watching. Just give up. You're a lost cause, and I don't care. But that hour and a half spent on trailers and the other presenters, that took up a bulk of the runtime. And personally, I was fucking fuming. One, I just wanted it to be done. The show started at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was fucking tired. Didn't need to be 3 hours long. And two, it's called the Game Awards. It's an award show. Stop treating it like it's E3. Jeff, I liked you before this, but now I fucking hate you. Anyway, I'm here with my co-host.
Whoa. Okay, you can hate the Game Awards as much as you want. You do not fuck up with my boy Jeff, though.
It's his fault.
Don't you dare.
I've seen a lot of people say this, and I have to agree now. It seems like he doesn't really care about the awards themselves. He just kind of wants to hang out with celebrities and be known as the guy who has all the great reveals. And to be honest, I'm kind of starting to think that. Because I think he excels at stuff like Summer Games and like Summer Games Fest and like Gamescom and that kind of stuff. He's a fantastic host for them because he's really great at hyping stuff up that no one cares about. But for an award show, it's kind of embarrassing because he seems more excited about a trailer for a game that's already out than he is about like giving awards out to the best in the industry, and that was my issue.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought the I can't remember her name, whoever hosted the pre-show, I thought she was a lot better. I mean, her jokes were shit, but she seemed to actually care more than he did. I think it might have just been the structure of the show and the fact most of the time when he was on stage, he was like, "All right, guys, here's a look at the greatest game I've ever seen in my entire life," and it's like fucking Glumpgo or something. It's just something shit. I'll get to that in a minute. I want to actually. It's not what the game's called, but I've called one of the games that was announced that.
Amazing.
But personally, I just wasn't a fan of the show this year. It really just wasn't good for me. I didn't really like it much last year. It's getting progressively worse and worse.
I don't even mind the copious amounts of game announcements and trailers. I actually do not mind them. It's part of the reason I watch the game show. It's for the news, for the next stuff that's coming and stuff. What I do mind is all of the trailers being complete terrible.
Yeah, that was
Like,
another thing. The
most
trailers
of
just
them-
weren't great.
Yeah, like none of them, I think, so I make a list every single time I watch one of these shows of just games to check out. My list for this Game Awards was 6 items long.
Wow.
So I got World of Goo 2.
That's what I
Big
call my
Walk.
cum suck.
Moving on.
Go
we
on.
have Big Walk, OD, which I don't even know what is about. I just thought the trailer that was alright. Ready or Not, which fucking yes, we're getting 1.0. I was shocked to see that game in the Game Awards. I did not think it was going to be there of any odd place in the entire world. Last Sentinel because it looked cool, and then Den of Wolves, which I've marked down purely just because it's the same guy that made Payday.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. There was nothing that interested me.
Well, I think before oh, yeah, sorry, go on.
I'm well aware I have a very shit taste in games. I'm very closed off in what I play. but god damn it, 90% of it was either Warhammer, Final Fantasy, or some weird fucking obscure piece of shit that nobody has ever heard of and does not look interesting at all.
Mm-hmm. See,
Like there was just
yeah, my problem honestly with all the stuff shown off was, like, especially in the second half of the show, a lot of it was just first person shooters. Like it
yeah.
felt very kind of like, okay, we've literally just seen one. Can we get it? Like it felt like I was watching a Microsoft E3 conference. It was just like shooter after shooter after shooter, and I was just like, get to the fucking awards, Jeff, please. I'm begging
Yeah.
you. I think
do
next
feel
year.
like-
Oh, you're going. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
It's all right. I do feel like I'll agree with you that the run times were a bit scuffed. What I feel like they should have done is just space them out better. That
Mhm.
would have made it a lot more bearable. Like they did a lot of quick fire rounds where they went through like 5 award categories in a single one, and then like big game of the year at the end, maybe a couple in between, and that was it. They should have spaced it out so like award and then 5 minutes or something of trailers, and then another award and then another 5 minutes, so that it's evenly distributed.
Mhm.
That way, you're actually watching an award show. I feel like that alone would have probably made it a hell of a lot better, and we probably wouldn't have even been discussing this.
No, see. I think what they should have done is you do like 30 minutes of awards. Like actually give, because my problem with as well with how it's presented, there were a lot of categories I felt should have had way more time given to them. It should have been actual like awards, like, you know, let the winners come up and speak. Stuff like best art direction, that I'm like, if I recall right, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, that was just a quickfire one. That really bugged me. Best sim and strategy game, I'm only really saying this because I really wanted the Pikmin devs on stage. That should have been an actual, like, give them a proper time on stage.
Yeah, I think there was like 10 categories maybe that were
Yeah.
actual announcements. The rest of them were just quick fires.
Honestly, it felt like it was a shame to be an award show. Like it felt like they begrudgingly included the awards, and that
Yeah.
was the issue with me. And also as well, I want to talk about this quickly before we get into it. Most of the people who actually did get to go on stage and talk, they were given 30 seconds before the teleprompter told them to wrap up their speech. And there was a couple, like, I think the best performance guy, I don't remember his name, and I'm not going to spoil it, you know, we'll get to that when we get to that. Unless you've already seen it, then you know. But he got almost played off like within a minute.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. They kept trying to play them off, like when they were a minute into their speech, probably because so they could get to the trailers again. And that's what I mean. It felt ashamed to be an award show, and that was my biggest issue with it.
It could be that, or it could just be that Christopher Judge ruined everything last year. Like, I'm not being funny. Last year, I feel like the speeches were a lot longer. So I'm wondering if maybe they just were trying to avoid a repeat of that, where he just would not get the fuck off stage, and they were just like, right, we're now behind schedule. Come on, fucking move it.
See, this is the thing though, right? And a lot of award shows, they have to keep on schedule because they're on TV, and it's like, oh, like fucking like Gogglebox is next or something. This is on YouTube. There's nothing next. You can afford to go over a few minutes. Like
They can afford. Well, you say that venues are they'll typically host out for like 3 or 4 hours or something. They're probably just trying to avoid going over that and stuff. Like, I can understand why they want to stay on schedule. It's obvious why. Just at the same time, a bit more than 30 seconds would have been nice. Like maybe a minute or two max.
you could have taken out a couple of the trailers and let people speak, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking of trailers, let's go over. I've got a list here of all of the games that were announced or shown off at the Game Awards. I think we should go through them. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a quick look at this list. I don't remember half of these. And the ones I do remember, it was just the people I watched the show with just making fun of them. There were maybe 2 games that we genuinely like were like, ah, that looks good. The rest we were like, oh my god. So the first one that was shown off, this was in the pre-show, was Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake. This is a game that has literally just turned 10 years old, and it's getting a remake. Do you know what Brothers is?
I have no idea. That's why I'm staying silent. I thought you were gonna elaborate.
Yeah. So it's I played it on 360 back in, I believe, 2015. It was a free game with gold. So whenever it came free with gold, that was when I played it, like Xbox Live Gold. And the thing with the game was you controlled these two brothers at the same time. So one was on left stick, one was on right stick. That was kind of the whole gimmick. Yeah, I played it when I was like 10 or 11. I didn't get it, but I think I was a bit too young to really understand what was going on. But I remember enjoying it for what it was. Cool, it's getting a remake, I guess. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I take it by your silence. You don't either.
I don't even know what the game is, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Next up, we have Pony Island 2. Do you remember Pony Island? It was like years ago.
No.
Okay.
I think Pony. Let me. Hold on, I'm gonna like Google these as you.
Yeah. If you, it might jog your memory if you Google it. I remember a lot of YouTubers playing it.
Oh, this one. Yeah, it was the same guy that made Inscription. See, once
Yeah.
I see the images of the trailers, I know exactly what I'm looking at. Yeah. It's
Um,
from the same guy who made Inscription.
yeah.
That's all I know about it.
I was the only guy watching in like the little group I watched with. I was the only person who knew what Pony Island was, and even then, I've never played it. I just kind of remember the name. So, yeah, that's the thing. Next one.
Mm.
God, this I said before we started this is going to be a lot shorter than the original video. It might be because there's just not a lot to talk about. Next up is Rise of the Golden Idol, which is a Netflix. I believe this is the Netflix like original game, because Netflix is trying to get into gaming. Apparently, it's a sequel to another game called The Case of the Golden Idol. This one's The Rise of the Golden Idol. No clue what it is.
Looks like a detective game, kind of.
Yeah, well, the article I'm reading right now says a follow-up to the detective adventure, The Case for the Golden Idol.
Yeah. To be fair, I remember watching this trailer, and at the end it had like Netflix and then a bunch of other consoles. I just remember thinking to myself, Netflix looks so out of place there. Like you're not expecting to see Netflix there.
Yeah, they've
The Netflix logo.
they've been trying to get into gaming recently. Like they kind of want to. I think they've been doing mobile for a while because if you have Netflix on your phone, you can get like a few games free with it. So I think they're trying to like be a Game Pass competitor.
It's not gonna happen.
Good for them, I guess. I don't really care.
It's really not gonna happen.
Next one, Usual Doom. I don't remember this.
It's like the one where they were in like the observatory and there was like the ghost that came out of her and said, "Yeah, no, there's a bigger problem here."
No, I don't remember.
I remember looking at this one thinking it had an interesting art style, but that was it. Like I liked the weird like stop motion animation. I don't know if that's a common thing or not. I just remember thinking it looked cool. Beyond that, no idea.
No.
Looks like generic high school girl. You know what I mean? Like
Like
those
high
games
school
that have, like, high
fantasy
school
kind of
girls.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely don't even remember that one. But see, a lot of these trailers they were just cinematics, and I couldn't remember if this one was or not. Just a cinematic trailer. But that was one thing that really
I
pissed me
believe
off.
so.
Next up, Harmon. I don't even know how to say that. Harmonym. I don't know the musical.
Oh,
That's the one
I
with the
think
deaf
I know.
girl.
Yes, I remember seeing that one. I'm surprised that one's not on my list because I remember thinking, "Fucking hell, that could be a really cool concept."
It seems interesting, but I'm not gonna play it.
I cannot find this game anywhere. There it is. Yeah, I remember. I'm gonna add that one to my list because I actually remember watching that trailer and just thinking to myself, "Huh, that could be really cool."
I hope
That is an interesting concept for a game.
I hope they had a deaf mode where it's just there's no sound. But I suppose you could just turn the volume all the way off. But no, I think that it's kind of cool that deaf people are getting representation like this. I just don't care. So that sounds
Fair enough.
horrible, but yeah, it's the truth.
Ewan McPhee does not care about deaf people. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they can't hear anything, can they? Exactly.
You closed captioned it here first, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
read it here first. They can still read.
Yes, there you go.
The next up is Windblown, which the only thing I remember about this trailer is that it just had furries getting mutilated. That's all I have to say.
Sure, alright.
Next game, Thumper. If you remember that game, it's like the weird car like rhythm
Oh
game.
yeah, the like VR one.
Yeah, Thrasher. It's like a spiritual successor in VR.
Yeah.
cool. Even, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not playing that because even when I was watching the trailer, it gave me a headache, and I wasn't in a VR headset.
Yeah, but I remember just watching that thinking, what the fuck am I looking at?
But no, I will not
Could
be
be
playing
cool, but yeah.
that. Won't be playing it. Which I'll probably be saying about most of these.
Mhm.
Up next is a Dave the Diver and Dredge crossover
Oh god, yeah, I remember seeing that.
coming out. There was
I
actually.
don't know.
Go on.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
No, neither do I.
Because Dave the Diver very much does not look like a game that Dredge is.
Hmm.
It's like two completely separate games. The only thing they have in common is that they have to do with water, as far as I'm aware.
That's all you need.
More money for them.
Yeah, there was a controversy recently. Well, I say recently because it happened like last week with the Game Awards. Dave the Diver is technically not an indie game. I say technically, it's not an indie game. It was published. It was published by an actual like big publisher, but
Oh.
it was still in the best indie game, and everyone was like, "What's up with this?" And Jeff was like, "Hey, look, I don't vote for these games myself." He's like, "But you know, an independent game, it could really mean anything." And everyone was like, "No, it means a game that was independently published, and
Yeah.
not published by an actual publisher." But I
To
don't.
be fair,
Yeah, I
you
don't
remember
know.
how I was. You remember how I was complaining that Turbo Overkill wasn't there? Turbo Overkill's published by Apogee, which I could be wrong on this. I don't know much about them, but as far as I can tell, they're the same people that did like Duke Nukem and stuff. I'm gonna check that before we go any further.
Yeah, maybe double check. But while you're doing that, I'll catch up on the David Diver situation. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "This game isn't independent. Why is it in the independent category?" And like you said, Jeff was like, "Oh, independent could really mean a lot of things." And a lot of people seem to think that it was nominated for best independent game simply because it had a pixel art style, and they were just like, "Yeah, that's indie enough."
It could be.
Which,
Okay.
oh yeah, go on.
Yes, they released a Duke Nukem game in 2011, and that's it. So they had something to do with it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they are technically still an indie publisher, but it's technically still not indie if you have a publisher. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that could be why then, if they're not meant to have publishers.
But yeah, a lot of people were not happy about that, and I think if Dave the Diver's an indie game, by that logic, Sonic Mania is also an indie game because that was made by indie devs. Doesn't matter if it was published by Sega. Who gives a shit? Jeff doesn't.
Yeah.
But I actually don't really care. To be honest,
It didn't win anyway, so
no, it
it's
didn't win. Who
not
gives a
big
fuck?
deal. Yeah.
Could have swapped out with Pizza Tower, but that didn't win best debut anyway, so it doesn't matter. Next up, we have What a Come a Cum Suck, World of Goo 2.
Now, I'm excited for this one, but full disclosure, I never played the original World of Goo. I've only played From Tomorrow Corp. I've only played Little Inferno, which, by the way, I actually bought today. Like, I rebought the game because when I played it, it was on my brother's account, and I'm just gonna go through like a nostalgia trip with it. And I've also played that and Human Resource Machine, and that's it. So I'm gonna have to go through their Steam pages and do a little catch up, see what they've been up to.
If I remember, I could be wrong on this, but I think World of Goo was originally a WiiWare game, and it was kind of so on the Wii, right? On the Wii Shop channel, like the store front on the Wii, games that were exclusive to WiiWare. No, the Wii were called WiiWare games. That's what they were called. So their own separate branding. I could be wrong, but I think World of Goo was a WiiWare game originally. I remember it being
definitely originally because I'm looking at the Steam page for it right now. Released in 2008. That will be why I've never played it.
Yeah, it's an older game, and it was originally on the Wii. I'm pretty sure, like I said, as a WiiWare game, and it's kind of like a cult classic on that kind of in that fandom of WiiWare. It's kind of become a cult classic. So to see it at the Game Awards, the sequel, good representation for my cumsock.
I'm gonna kill you.
Next one. I don't even remember this. Metaphor, I don't even know what that word is. Fantasino? Yeah. Refantasino. Metaphor, Refantasino. It's an anime game. I don't care.
Refantasino. Hold on. I'm trying to figure it
Yeah,
out.
go ahead. Have a look.
Does not look interesting.
I don't even remember them showing it.
I remember there was one anime game that I looked at, and I think I messaged you about it on the night. Where I said I don't know, I didn't get the name of it, but it looked interesting to me because it had a really nice futuristic theme to it. But I can't remember what the hell it was.
Mhm.
So
There was one I messaged you about. It was another anime game, and I was like, "Why has the robot got tits?" Might have been that one. I don't know. No, I don't think it was that one.
Scroll back up.
It
Because
wasn't
I
that
do
one.
not remember this. Where was it?
Might not have been. Oh, maybe I did message you.
What?
But I do remember
Was-
saying that the robot had tits. That was my main takeaway.
Yeah, I don't see it in our DMs. I see the game funded by the Chinese Communist Party, but that's it.
Last Sentinel. That was. We'll get to that one, but that's the one that you.
Oh, is that the
Is
one
it?
that?
No.
Oh,
I think Last Sentinel was a different one, but it has the Japanese kind of theme to it. But that's not anime.
I'll figure it out. Anyway. Yeah. Next.
Next up, yes, we have Exodus, which has Matthew McConaughey in it. That was a
Yeah,
selling point.
I remember thinking to myself, why the fuck is he here?
To be honest, I don't even know if he was in the trailer. I couldn't tell who he was in it. Which
I think
maybe
he was.
maybe he's just that good of a voice actor, but
I think he was that last guy that said like, "Yeah, you're gonna be seeing me real soon" or something like that. I don't know.
I thought the trailer was really weird because it was like this very intense, serious cinematic, and then it cut to like this third-person shooter. It almost looked like Returnal type gameplay, if you know what that game is. It's like a roguelike like shooter where it's like you're moving really fast through this alien environment, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's Whiplash.
Do not. I do think if assuming Exodius, if it's the same trailer I'm thinking of, wasn't it
What
like
did
an
you just say?
extraction shooter? What?
Exodius? It's Exodus.
Exodus, whatever. How the fuck do you even spell it? I'm just realizing.
I'm looking at it right now.
Exodus.
I have an article up. Exodus.
Yeah, reveal trailer. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna see if it's the trailer I'm thinking of. Give me a sec. I'm booting up the trailer here.
It's not isn't it, it's a roguelike Returnal. It's not an extraction shooter, but there is one.
No, it's not the trailer I'm thinking of. I thought it was a different trailer.
That's a layer one, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
cool for Matthew McConaughey. He's I don't know who this studio is. Apparently they're new, so I don't know how they got the budget for Matthew McConaughey, but that's good for them.
Who knows?
Anyway, next trailer. The God of War Ragnarok Valhalla DLC. It's a roguelike mode. I don't really like roguelikes, to be honest, so I probably won't be playing it. I don't even have God of War Ragnarok anymore. I sold it, so I can't play it. But
I am on PC, so I'm a second-class citizen to
whenever
PlayStation.
whenever Ragnarok comes to PC, which it will one day, eventually. Cool, I guess.
Maybe when I'm 40 and aging.
I'm trying to think how long it took for God of War 1 to come to PC. I think it was 4 years, yeah.
Oy vey.
But right now, it seems to be the release strategy is after like 2 or so years, that's when they put them on PC. So you might get it next year at some point, because that game will be 2 next year. But cool. Anyway, the Untitled Goose Game team reveals their next game, Big Walk.
Ooh, big walk, yes.
But before
I do
they
like the look of this.
yeah, I thought it could be quite fun. It wasn't too bad. Before they announced the name, I thought it was going to be called Glumpgo. And you know
What
what?
gave you that impression?
I don't know. Just I look at the guy and I think Glumpgo. So from now on, I'm calling this game Glumpgo.
Fair enough. Well, it's a multiplayer game, so you and I will have to buy it.
Yeah. We'll both be in our 20s when that comes out, because it comes out in 2025. That's a harrowing thought.
Oh God,
We won't just be 20. We'll be in our 20s. There's a difference.
Yeah.
And it scares me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glumpgo, I'm gonna have to give it a try. It looks quite good. Then we have Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is obviously the new Prince of Persia game, kind of going back to the 2D roots. Doesn't look half bad. I'm not gonna play it, but if I was gonna play it, I think it'd be quite good.
Not a Prince of Persia fan, but can't really comment.
Then okay, well we'll just move right on to the next one, which is another one that I'm not gonna play. Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga. Very impressive graphics. Doesn't look like much of a game, to be honest.
months.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was this game. This is the game that I forget. I think it was you that I messaged here. I thought the game looked interesting until I saw the combat, and it just looks generic as shit.
Yeah.
So, slash shrug.
Oh, they also had the musical number before they showed this trailer. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was the weak musical number. They were upshown by the other two. One in particular for me. But no, I mean, I think if I've not played the first one. I've heard it's graphically very good and the story's good in it. It's not like a good game. It's more like a cinematic thing that you experience. And it looks like this is going to be more of the same, so I probably won't play it, but you know, if it looks like your thing, give it a go. It's going to be on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And then we have the next game, Ken Mirai. Okay.
No comment.
Just a CGI trailer. I remember, the only thing I remember from this trailer is that one of the people I was watching this with very loudly shouted, "Is this Subway Surfers?" And I'm pretty sure they woke their parents up.
What the fuck?
That is the only takeaway from this game. And the fact that the lion had a woman head. Next game, No Rest for the Wicked by the guys who made Ori and the Will of the Wisp and The Blind Forest. I might have got that the wrong way round. They're like 2D platformers. They're on Xbox, I believe, and I've heard really good things about them. I haven't played them myself. This trailer existed.
Yeah. It was one of the game trailers of all time.
It existed. All right, here we go. Finally, something I can actually want to talk about because I think it's really cool.
Yes.
So Sega talked about Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Crazy Taxi. They're all making a comeback. Holy shit!
I'm especially excited for Crazy Taxi.
I want
that game was a part of my childhood.
Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio. I want to try both of them. The Streets of Rage, the little peek we got of that looked like an interesting direction to the series. I am genuinely shocked that Sega, after Frontiers, and they've actually talked about this, they've said after the success of Sonic Frontiers, they really want to start investing more in their legacy franchises. Because at the moment, they only really have faith in stuff like a Dragon, Persona, which also got a trailer here at the Game Awards, Persona 3 Remake, whatever it's called, like Reloaded or something, that got a trailer. And I think Skies of Arcadia is like the other one. Aside from like those four, they don't really do any of their other franchises anymore. So I think it was really bold of them to come out and go, yeah, we're making all of these. See you later.
Yeah.
That was a power move, I think, on their part.
It's nice to see Sega actually give a fuck about the franchise they're a part of.
Like they
the
seem
genre they're a part of.
They seem to. I think they've got a lot more confidence now that like their stuff's doing well. Like it's across the board. Their four big franchises are doing well, so they're like, right, let's invest in our smaller ones then. So personally, I'm really excited for this. I think Sega is a good company, except from anything that has to do with making Sonic games, and this is coming from a Sonic fan. But hopefully, if these games do well, maybe they'll finally give Sonic a fair shake. I mean, they're not going to do that.
Oh, the fat chance.
We come out with some jokes here sometimes. No, but like genuinely though, I think this was really good, and I'm really excited to see what becomes of all these projects. Anyway, moving on to Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Moving on to Dead by Daylight spin-off, the casting of Frank Stone. I don't know who this guy is. I played a decent bit of Dead by Daylight. I'm not a mega fan, but I enjoy it. So I don't know. I might give this a go.
I have no idea who Frank Stone is. I
Neither.
think it's just a new character.
I think it is because I genuinely was really, when I watched the trailer, I thought he was the Trapper. He could be that. I don't know. But I also like. Yeah, I don't know. Genuinely don't know who he is.
Unless we're talking about the English painter Frank Stone.
I don't.
Or the
think
data analyst Frank Stone on LinkedIn.
That could be him. But I kind of like not Until Dawn. I'm sorry, I'm reading the article and it says Until Dawn. I quite like Dead by Daylight. It's kind of fun. You play it for like a couple of games every few weeks, and it's a decent bit of fun with your friends. And I like Until Dawn, which is the guys who made Until Dawn, Supermassive. They're working on this, and I think it'll be quite cool. It's interesting to see they're expanding Dead by Daylight into like a big universe. So, yeah, that's cool.
Fair enough.
Right. Next up, we have Visions of Mana. The Mana series is like it's a JRPG series by Square. The only one I can think of is like Trials of Mana. That's the only other one. I don't care.
Yeah, no idea.
Next, the only Square Enix franchise I care about is Kingdom Hearts, and that wasn't at the show, and I was raging. Anyway, next one, Rise of the Ronin, which is I believe a PlayStation exclusive coming out in March of next year.
I don't even remember looking at this
Just kind of looks like a shit Ghost of Tsushima, to be completely honest with you. And I didn't even like Ghost of Tsushima that much. It was okay.
Yeah. No comment.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't even remember watching this one.
There's a lot of these. I now that I'm seeing them, I remember it. But like, if you asked me to name these like before I looked at this article, I would have no clue. I do remember this one though. OD by Hideo Kojima. It's his next game, and this is in collaboration with Xbox this time, and not Sony.
Oh, I forgot about that detail. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's on my list, but if it's in collab with Xbox, chances of it coming to PC on Steam.
Oh, I
Pretty
think
much
it is
zero.
coming to Steam. I'm pretty sure all of Xbox's games this year, they've said they're coming to Steam. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay, there is hope then.
I don't really care. It wasn't it. This game trailer wasn't a game trailer. It was close-ups of faces, and then one of them screamed at the end. Okay, what is this game?
I don't know, but it looked interesting. Like it's a trailer that doesn't reveal much, but it lets you, it lets you know it's horror, which means
Mhm.
I'm interested. As long as it's not dog shit, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean I like Hideo Kojima. He's an acquired taste. His games definitely, especially Death Stranding. From what I've heard, it's very much an acquired taste. So if you're into his games, this could be very interesting. I think for me the most noteworthy part of this game is the fact that Jordan Peele, who if you don't know, directed movies like Get Out, Us, and Nope. By the way, Get Out won an Oscar, so he's an Oscar-winning director. He's working on this game apparently, and so that could be interesting. I quite like his stuff.
That's who it was. I was wondering who the hell it was on stage. I thought he's like very not a horror movie type.
Oh, he is. All his films are horror movies. Get Out's a horror, Us is a horror, Nope's a horror. Actually saw Nope in cinemas last year. It was quite good. By
He's
Aliens.
a very chill dude for.
Yeah. He
That-
seems like a good guy. His he used to be a comedian, and he had a partner who plays Toad in the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I think the difference in the response to, I think Keegan Peele is the other guy. Keegan. I don't know his name. Keegan Michael Key. This is so bad. I should have looked into this. The guy who plays Toad. The response he got on stage last year was really embarrassing comparing it to Jordan Peele's, because he was making jokes and barely anyone laughed, and I kind of felt bad for him.
To be fair, there was a moment like that this year anyway with who was it? There was a guy who announced one of the awards. It was like he had worked on a bunch of EA games. That's all I remember. And he walked on stage, and there was a polite applause, but nothing else. And I just thought to myself, yeah, that's because he's an EA. I can't remember who it was. I just remember thinking that.
Wasn't the guy with there was his foot? Was it like the cast on his foot?
No,
Okay, no.
no. His speech was also really boring. Like I think he was some game dev or something. And like very clearly
it
not an actor.
the
or
creator
anything.
of Call of Duty, perchance?
I have no idea.
Was it Ed Boon? Was it fairly early in the show?
I have no idea. I actually do not know.
Oh well. Yeah, I
Either way.
would like to see what this game actually is, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. Next up, this is one I actually think is going to be quite interesting. Jurassic Park Survival, which is a
Yeah.
Jurassic Park horror game, if they're smart, they'll make it like Alien Isolation. I think that's a very interesting idea for a game. I think that's going to be really good
Yeah.
if they pull it off right.
Yeah, I agree. It did look pretty interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Not much-
nothing
not
to
much
say
to say
there
on it.
really
Yeah.
aside from it looks cool.
The only Jurassic Park movie I've seen is Jurassic World. I've not seen the original, but I've always enjoyed the concept, and I think that this has a potential to be great. So Well done, Universal. You got me interested. Next game, Black Myth 1 Wukong. Wukong, that's how you say it, Wukong. Black Myth Wukong, which is based off of Journey to the West, which is an old like Chinese fantasy novel. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm asking you to do it. I'm more talking to the audience here. I believe that this game is funded partly by the Chinese government because China has been really pushing recently to get their like a foothold in the gaming market. So if you don't like the Chinese government, you're not gonna like this game, and I personally don't because they're fucking horrible. They're the complete violation of human rights across the board. So I don't really want to talk about this one. You got anything you want to say?
I'm googling if that is actually true.
Yeah, I might have just said all that, and it's actually not. And I've just insulted this poor studio and their game. I believe it is. I believe Game Science is partly funded by the Chinese government. Okay, yeah, this game is pretty much made full-time crunch. The studio is only 30 to 40 people, but they're working double the amount of normal hours any developer would, which keep in mind is already a lot. So, yeah, not great.
I can't find anything, so I'm gonna
I
assume.
I hope I'm right with that. You know, I'll assume that maybe I've misremembered that, but I'm pretty sure it's this game. So let me just like talk about it as if I don't have a bias against the Chinese government. I don't really want to play it. It doesn't look that good. I don't care either way. I just kind of wanted just something to justify my opinion, other than it looks fine, whatever. But yeah, no. Anyway, moving on. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, another game I don't care about.
Yep.
This one just makes me angry because it's actually a decent concept for a game like this. Like Suicide Squad, a Suicide Squad game is a good concept. It's the fact that it looks like everyone plays the same but with slightly different guns that's the issue. Why, oh why, they looked at a character like Captain Boomerang and went, give that man a gun, is beyond me. I'll give you a hint, it's in his name what weapon he uses.
Well, I genuinely don't care, so...
I won't be playing it. And it's a shame because this is Kevin Conroy, who has been voicing Batman since 1992. He passed away last year, I believe. Or it might have been this year. It's been a long year. And this is the last thing he ever recorded as Batman. It was last year. Because they did a tribute to him last year at the Game Awards. Yeah, this is the last appearance of him as Batman. And it sucks it's going to be a game that's probably not going to be good. Because it's also a live service game. So...
Oh, is it? Oh, well, that's fun.
So it's not going to be that good. Warframe, I'm not... Do you play Warframe?
Nope.
Moving on. What about this, Tales of... What's this? Tales of Kenzira Zaru.
Wasn't that the guy who... It's like a tribute to the guy's father.
Yeah. The guy, he plays Bayek, the main character in Assassin's Creed Origins. He had quite a heartfelt speech, and this is one of the announcements I actually liked. I'm not going to play the game, but I thought this was actually a good use of like a trailer at the Game Awards, because he talked about his dad. And he was like, "This is how much games mean to me. I'm making this for my dad." I think that was quite touching and quite moving.
That was really touching, and he gave Gary's Mod a shout out in his speech. So
he also gave Kingdom Hearts a shout out, so he gets a plus from me too.
Oh yeah.
Just a good guy all around. So yeah, not gonna play it, but you know, looks good for those who want it. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. This is by the Life is Strange guys.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I last even looked at Life is Strange, so might be worth. I might play it. I might not. I don't know.
I remember the last Life is Strange, True Colors. I feel like that kind of flew under the radar. Because like the first one, like everyone was talking about that when that came out. That was quite big, but True Colors kind of came and went.
My experience with Life is Strange was when I was like 10, and I remember playing it and think my like 10-year-old brain was like, "Ooga booga, this is actually pretty decent," and I do not remember a goddamn thing about it. So I just remember I enjoyed it somehow. So again, might be worth me playing, might not. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Yeah, my biggest memory with Life is Strange is that I was watching, I believe Jacksepticeye play the 5th episode of it when I was over at my grandparents' house, and I was upstairs, my granddad was downstairs, and I was watching it at quite a loud volume because it was such a quiet scene. And my granddad, I think he asked me if I wanted something for my lunch, and then the one of the characters in the screen like shouted very loudly, "You stupid bitch!" And my granddad heard, and he was like, "What are you watching?" And so I had to explain the concept of the game to him, and he was lost. He didn't get it. So I'm not gonna play this. I have a cousin who quite likes Life is Strange. Good for him. Anyway, moving on. I don't remember this at all. The first Berserker Kazan. I don't remember that.
Neither do I. I actually have no idea.
Next, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I thought this was quite a good performance. The song.
Yeah, it was alright. Not ever gonna touch the game, but
I'm not much of. I've been considering getting into Final Fantasy because I'm really into Kingdom Hearts. I really enjoy that series, and that is a crossover between Final Fantasy and Disney. So who knows? Maybe I'll give Rebirth a go at some point in the future. Still think it's weird that they decided to split a remake of a 20-year-old game into a trilogy. I don't get that at all, but you know, the guy who directs Final Fantasy now, he directs Kingdom Hearts as well, and he's some guy. I'll say that much. So we'll just have to wait and see how his vision plays out. But it was a good performance for the song. I'm not gonna play this game for a while probably. Anyway, who cares? Apex Legends and Final Fantasy. You don't like either, do you?
I've played Apex Legends and it's not even that bad of a game. I just don't get why Apex Legends did a crossover with Final Fantasy. That is a weird announcement to have thrown at you.
See, I would think if any battle royale is going to cross over with Final Fantasy, it would be Fortnite. They're big into their crossovers, but
Yeah.
I think this is Apex moving in on that territory because it's been quite successful for Fortnite.
Apex is not a game I would say that should be doing crossovers, but yeah.
Oh well.
It's been a hot minute since I last played it, so I could be wrong. I think times might have changed, but nah.
Anyway, do you want to even talk about this one? Honkai Star Rail. Do you even care? I don't.
But the anime.
Moving on. This is another I don't care about.
Aw.
Skull and Bones release date. This is the Ubisoft game that has been in development hell since like 20. I think it was announced back in like 2018. It's been years. This has been development hell for ages. For a while, I think they were planning on just canceling the game. The issue was every playtester who played it was just like, this isn't fun. And for the longest time, they just couldn't figure out how to make it fun, if I remember right. But you know, I think at this point they're like, we put too much money into this, we just got to release it.
I hope it's a case of they're releasing it while also doing it up, because
Yeah.
I'm fed up of games doing that.
Well, that was the thing. This game was when they announced it, they were like, "This is the spiritual successor to Assassin's Creed 4, which was the pirate Assassin's Creed game." So I think everyone assumed that this was going to be like that. That was going to be like just like Assassin's Creed 4. You take out the assassin stuff, and it's very much pirate themed. But this seems to only be the ship combat, as far as I'm aware, which is a good part of Assassin's Creed 4. But you don't want a whole game that's just that. There needs to be other elements.
A bit more, so it's gonna a bit more like what's the name of it? That pirate game that's
Sea of Thieves.
that one.
That's
It's gonna be a bit like that.
I quite like Sea of Thieves. But speaking of Microsoft games, we have Arcane Studios, who is making a Blade game. Now, do you know who Blade is?
I do not, but I remember watching that trailer and thinking it would be quite interesting.
He's a vampire hunter who is half vampire. He's a daywalker. He had a trilogy of films. He kind of kickstarted the whole modern kind of superhero stuff back in the 90s. That was Wesley Snipes. I believe Mahershala Ali is playing him in the Marvel Studios reboot, which has been in development hell for a while now. I'm not gonna lie, I saw the Arcane Studios logo, saw the vampire teeth, and shit myself because I thought they were announcing Redfall 2.
No.
I genuinely got scared. But then it's Blade, and apparently this Arcane is not the ones that made Redfall. This is the ones that made Deathloop, and Deathloop's quite good.
Okay.
I really like Deathloop, So I'm actually
Believe it
quite
or
excited
not,
for this.
yeah, I didn't add this game to my list because I thought it looked interesting, but I saw Arcane and thought, right, so Redfall V2,
Hmm.
it's gonna be buggy as shit probably. If it's not the same Arcane, I will add it to my list
It's
because
an
that could be interesting.
inspired choice to get Arcane to do this after Redfall, but
Yeah,
it's not the same guys. It's a different like studio Arcane. So
yeah.
I have faith in it. I think it'll be good. If it is the Deathloop guys, then yeah, I'm quite excited for this. Probably won't hear about it for another few years. As most Marvel games go, they announce them way too early, and then we hear nothing for years, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, this game's done. It's coming out soon."
Yeah.
So yeah, well,
That's
cool to see that when I've got the grandkids.
Hmm.
Twisted Metal Season 2. Don't care. Do you care about Twisted Metal Season 2?
don't even know what the fuck it is.
It's so Twisted Metal was a old PlayStation franchise that was like very Mad Max. You wanna know? Do you know Mad Max Thunderdome?
Not really. You don't have to explain it to me.
Okay.
I'm not interested.
I just want to say something though about this bit here. Anthony Mackie, he seems a genuine guy. I kind of like the stuff he's been in, but I think he really wanted like a Keanu Reeves moment here, one that kind of like he's
Yeah.
interacting with the audience and it like went viral online. I think he really wanted that.
Yeah, I did sort of think to myself as I was watching it, can you just like shut the fuck up?
Which is funny because that's what he was telling the audience. He was telling them to shut up.
Yeah.
But it was all in good fun. It was playful riffing. But I don't really care.
Fuck.
I don't care.
Yeah,
But
just
it's good.
fucking announce your award and shut up.
Yeah. To be honest, I have heard good things about the Twisted Metal show, but I've never played Twisted Metal in my life, so
And
There's
again,
not-
I don't even know what it is. So
not much else to
slash
say. It's on Peacock, which we don't have in the UK. It's
Ah.
one of the lesser known streaming services. That's where the Five Nights at Freddy's movie went to.
Yeah.
In the States.
I'm pretty sure it's on now. I'm pretty sure you can get access to it through Now TV. I could be wrong. I remember someone telling me that as a way
might be able
to
to.
stream, as a way to stream the FNAF movie. So I
I
don't know.
remember, HBO, I know for a fact, has a deal with Sky, which is why we don't have HBO Max in the UK. It's because I believe Sky own the rights to the name, like HBO. They own their rights to the name and the content they make. They own that, I think, until like 2026. So we're not getting HBO Max here for a while. I don't know what's up with Peacock though. We're just not getting it. They're not letting us have it.
We're not allowed our peacocks.
Nope. Next up, we have Lightspeed LA, which is by. Oh, was this the one that was
No,
made?
Lightspeed LA is the studio. Last
Oh,
Sentinel is
yeah.
the
Sorry. Was this the one? Was this the guys? Fucking hell! What game was it they made? Was this by the guy who founded Rockstar? Or was it? It was a big franchise that the creator had left. That's making this.
I don't know.
What
I
was it
remember
called?
finding the game interesting. That's all I can really say.
Anyway, so on to the next announcement, the first Descendant. I actually don't remember this one.
I think I remember it, and it was meh.
Genuinely have no recollection of this, so we're just going to move right along to the next one. I believe this was the game that had the robot tits in it.
Hoyoverse
Hoyoverse.
Zero. Yeah.
Zenless Zone Zero.
It's. Do you know who they are? They're the same
Genshin
people that
Impact
make. Yeah. They're not Genshin Impact. It's Star Rail.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I don't have anything to say about this one either.
I was watching it, and again, futuristic theme jumped out at me. It wasn't the same game I messaged you about, but the futuristic theme jumped out at me. And then I saw the maid outfit, and I was just like, oh yeah, no, not playing it.
They gave the robot tits. I don't know what else to
It's
say.
a gacha game, yeah.
Anyway, this is the one you're excited for. Den of Wolves by the creators of Payday, I believe. Is this the one?
Yeah, it is hardly that I am excited for it. It's just that I thought it looked cool, and again, creator of Payday, I thought it could be interesting because Paydays went down the pot recently, and still is. So, yeah.
You know, if they're doing like a Payday in space or like futuristic, that could be kind of cool.
That seems to be what it roughly. It's like you're a mercenary that does heists.
That
So it seems to roughly be that concept.
doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, Exoborn. Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah. The Fallout TV show. Looks pretty good. I'm excited for it. Hopefully it's good. Don't really have
Yeah,
anything else to
it's
say.
a
But
yeah. That could be a really cool concept for a
hmm.
TV show if done right. Yeah.
I'm a big Fallout guy, but I don't much say in the show than other than I hope it's good. And I hope it's a
You
decent story.
you you could say you're a Fallout boy.
So Hello Games' next game was announced. Light No Fire. This is a No Man's Sky, but what if it was one planet? Okay, that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
cool. I remember me and my friends, we just kept taking the piss out of the fact that one of the selling points he said before the trailer was that you could go up a mountain and see rivers. He really wanted to talk about that.
That's a hell of a marketing point right there. I'll tell you that.
It honestly, I think if you like No Man's Sky, you'll probably like this because they look about the same, but just like different kind of settings and themes.
Hmm.
I have tried No Man's Sky. I've tried to play it a few times. It's not for me, so I probably won't play this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sort of the same.
Next up, we have Stormgate, which is an RTS. Or should I say, the Kickstarter announcement for Stormgate. It's got Simuli in it.
Cool.
Guilty Gear strives new character. Ely Fint Valentine. I don't play Guilty Gear.
Neither.
There's probably already porn of her. That's all I have
Oh,
to say.
guaranteed. There's already porn of the GTA 6 trailer, so guaranteed.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about this one. Final Fantasy 16 DLC trailer.
No one cares.
The Finals, which is a shooter game. Yeah. There was a beta of this a couple months, like a couple weeks ago. Not months, a couple weeks ago. I didn't play it. I downloaded it, but I never played it.
I didn't even know there was a beta of it. Is it literally just generic shooter?
Well, apparently, it's
Generic
over,
multiplayer shooter.
according to this, it's over the top. But
Mm.
okay.
Cool. Moving
And
on.
then finally, the last big announcement of the night. This is the one they ended on. Monster Hunter Wilds.
Who the fuck? Nah. I don't get the way Jeff hyped it up when I was watching live. I was expecting this to be like the Cyberpunk sequel that CD Projekt Red's working on or something. I was not expecting whatever the fuck this is.
Monster
I have
Hunter.
no idea what this is meant to be.
I know what Monster Hunter is. It's a series by Capcom. It's was relatively quite niche until Monster Hunter World, and that one, as far as I'm aware, it kind of blew up in certain circles. It's a very niche. It still is a niche series, but it's a way more popular now than it was like 10 years ago. So
Mm.
good for Monster Hunter fans. Hopefully they enjoy it. Can't play it for 2 years though. So finally, we're at the end of all the announcements. I don't really care about most
Yeah,
of these.
I'm just realizing that article's shit because it didn't include Ready or Not.
I think this is all like
That
the
genuinely,
big announcements. But yeah, let's
yeah,
end. We'll end on Ready or Not. Why not? Huh?
yeah, that
Um,
genuinely was the highlight of the night for me. By the way, Ready or Not getting out of early access finally.
See,
Like
yeah.
it's so good.
Everyone
I'm
I was
so
I was
hyped.
watching it with were like, "Oh, is this announcement coming to consoles?" Nah.
No,
It could one day,
one day.
but that day is not whenever 1.0 comes out.
Yeah. Either way, I'm happy. Like, genuinely, fucking been waiting months for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I again, as I was saying, Ready or Not is the last game I would expect to be in Game Awards. And when I saw it was the server room that tipped me off that it was Ready or Not. I remember looking at it, and I recognized the map immediately. I just thought,
Yeah,
so, wait,
same.
is this fucking Ready or Not?
I thought the same.
Yeah, because I think you and me have struggled on that map before.
Mhm. I know that map.
Yeah.
I think I've died in the exact same spot the guy died in the trailer in.
I think everybody has. It's yeah,
But
yeah. No, and then I saw the fucking ending. And it was just like, "Are you ready?" And I was just like, "Oh fuck!"
yeah, I was like, that's Ready or Not. But yeah, Nothing really I care about too much. Uh, sad fucking show. Let's
Yeah.
before we go, I think I want to talk about one thing in the show that I really liked. The Herald of Darkness live performance. That was genuinely really fun. I really enjoyed that.
Which one was that?
That was
Was
the
that
Alan Wake 2
the?
song.
Yeah, I I remember you telling me about the musical number, and I don't think I ever listened to it. I didn't realize that was the musical number, and I'm honestly not my cup of tea. It's way too musically.
Fair. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. Um,
Yeah,
I was kind of
like it
secretly
just
hoping.
doesn't sound.
I was hoping they'd do the full like 14 minutes, but they did the radio edit, which is only like 3 minutes 40. But beggars can't be
Yeah.
choosers.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't
Cool.
beg for it. I just said it'd be cool if they did it. But anyway, let's actually get on to the actual awards themselves. We're just as bad as Jeff.
Yeah.
God. Anyway, here we are. We're gonna start the same place we started last time with all the esports stuff. So I reckon we just kind of blast through all this stuff. Like, well,
Yeah.
at least the esports stuff because we don't really have anything to talk about. So for
Hmm.
best esports event, our predictions were either Evo 2023, which was mine, or Blast.tv, which was yours. In the end, the League of Legends World Championship won.
Fucking nerds.
Anyway, next category. Best
Yep.
esports coach. Our prediction was the esports coach of Vitality. Remy, I'm not even XTQZZZ.
It's ecstasy.
Oh, ecstasy.
I think.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think that's how it's meant to be pronounced.
Well, it was him. Mostly because you said, "Oh, I know this guy," or "You know Vitality," and I was like, "Cool, I'll vote for him." And in the
Yeah.
end, Potter for Evil Geniuses Valorant ended up winning. So cool.
Cool.
Next up is best esports team. Our prediction was Vitality for Counter Strike, and JD Gaming for League of Legends won.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not really much to say. Best esports athlete, we had our predictions were either Ruler or Zylu. Is that how you say his name?
Zaiwu.
Zywu. I've completely wrote down the wrong name. Zywu. And in the end, Faker won.
Yeah. It's a lot of League of Legends and Valorant winners, whereas I just voted
Yeah.
for everything CS:GO. So shrug.
When Faker won, I screamed like Sonic the Hedgehog and said Faker. That's the only thing of note I have for any of this esports stuff, so take of that what you will. Next up, we have best esports game. We both said, you said CS:GO 2, I said PUBG Mobile for the lols, and Valorant won.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the thought of Valorant winning, but to be fair, given the state CS2's in, yeah, you know what, I'll take it.
Yeah, might as well.
Fucking, there was a massive false ban wipe a few days ago. For fuck's sake, like Valve is just shitting it.
Yeah. Next up, best content creator. We had our prediction was People Make Games, but we didn't know who any of these people were, and
Yeah.
Iron Mouse won.
Being VTuber, of course.
I think the general consensus online was, "Who the fuck is this?" That
Yeah, it
was
was a
what I got.
VTuber.
Like no one
It-
who goes outside knows who that is.
Yeah, the VTuber who has a massive cult following won, and during their acceptance speech, they couldn't even speak proper English. I noticed, like, or not even that. It was like they had a really really weird accent, and it
But-
was trying to be really anime girly, but it just sounded like they had some spastification to them.
Might just be the
I
character.
don't know how else to put that. Yeah, I don't know how else to put that.
Oh well. Moving on to most anticipated game.
Yep.
I only have down here Tekken 8. Do you remember which one yours was? Because I don't think it was Tekken 8.
I have no
Or
idea.
did you? No.
Probably, like-
Oh no, you did. You did Tekken 8 as well. You're like, I'll just sheepishly follow and do Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised it didn't go for Like a Dragon, but oh well.
It doesn't matter because neither of those won because it was Final Fantasy
Yeah.
VII Rebirth. Good for that one.
Yep.
Next up, we have Best Adaptation. We said Last of Us was going to win, and wouldn't you know it, The Last of Us won.
I think you said Last of Us would be. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm surprised. I'm still a little surprised Mario movie didn't win, given the fucking reception it got.
Mm-hmm. I
But
just Last of Us is more prestigious, and that's kind of what the Game Awards want to be. They want to be like the prestigious game show,
yeah,
and so they're going to give it to something like The Last of Us. And yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I wouldn't watch it again. Might not watch season 2 because it's a zombie show that's ashamed to be a zombie show. That's the best way I can describe it.
eh,
Well done
no
to
comment
HBO.
from me. Yeah.
All right, next up we have best multiplayer. Our prediction was Baldur's Gate 3. When you know it, Baldur's Gate 3 won.
Yep.
Not surprising.
Nothing to say there.
Yeah, that genuinely didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
On to the next one. God, we really are like Jeff. We're just going through these like fucking nothing.
We'll get to the arguing and shouting eventually once Cyberpunk
Yeah.
comes up.
So for best sports and racing game, we predicted the Crew Motorfest would win, and Forza Motorsport won.
No real comment here.
I don't know.
It won.
Yeah.
It did certainly win.
As I said when we went through the nominations originally, I didn't even know this game came out.
Yep.
Which says something. Alright, next up we have Best Sim and Strategy Game. Finally, we're getting to the good stuff. So, our prediction was Pikmin 4. I think you actually chose either City Skylines 2 or Company Heroes 3.
It was I think City Skylines 2 just because it was like the big release for Sims this year, even if it was a fucked up release. But ultimately Pikmin 4 won, so
Yes, and I'm so happy about that. Pikmin 4 is genuinely incredible. If anyone watching this has been on the fence about trying Pikmin 4, do it. It's fucking great. It's so damn good. And also, it's a great starting off point for new fans. As a long-time fan, I'm not too happy with what they did with the story. It's a reboot, but it's not at the same time. It's kind of weird. But if you're looking for a Pikmin experience, Pikmin 4 is a damn good place to start. But you can play all the Pikmin games, all the mainline ones, on your Switch. I'm not sponsored by Nintendo. Or you can emulate them. It's up to you. See? Not sponsored.
we're not recommending piracy. We're just saying to
No, we're not.
buy the game and then emulate it.
Anyway, next up we have Best Family Game. To the shock of no one, Mario Wonder won.
Yep.
That was one of our predictions. It was either Mario Wonder or Pikmin 4. I think I just put Pikmin 4 there for my own bias. But yeah, Mario Wonder won. Not much wonder there.
Oh.
Kill myself. Next up we have Best Fighting Game, which was, my prediction was Street Fighter 6. I think you also did the same, or you might have done Mortal Kombat 1.
I probably did SpongeBob annoying me, to be fair.
And when you know it, Street Fighter 6 won. Cool. I heard a lot of good things about that when it came out. Not much else to
Yep.
say.
Neither.
Right. Next up, we have Best RPG. Of course, we predicted Baldur's Gate, and
Of
Baldur's
course.
Gate won. They might as
Yeah.
well not have read out the other nominations. It just felt mean.
Yeah, best RPG, Baldur's Gate. That's it.
Yeah, not much.
That's all there is to say.
Get
Fucked, Starfield.
I think out of all of these, this is the one that prioritizes being a role-playing game.
Well, that's just because it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's hardly
Exactly. That's the original role-playing
yeah.
game.
I would kind of hope it prioritizes being an RPG.
Anyway, after that we have Best Action Adventure Game. So our predictions were either Spider-Man 2. Well, I think Spider-Man 2 was what I voted for, but my prediction was Tears of the Kingdom. I can't remember what yours was. It might have been
I don't think it was Tears of the Kingdom.
No, I
I
think-
think it
I
was
think-
probably
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
Yeah.
And
Tears
to
of
be
the
fair,
Kingdom.
I still don't think Tears of the Kingdom should have gotten it, just because again everything I see as Zelda looks generic. It's like a poor man's Witcher to me still, but fair enough if it wins, I guess.
I think the thing is with Zelda is like one of the original fantasy games like series, so it's more like everything else is taken its ideas and done different spins on them. So it's very much kind of like the traditional sort of fantasy thing. So that might be why that is. It's
Maybe,
just
but
because
even that, it's the same story no matter what. Fucking, what's her tits gets taken away, and then Link has to go rescue her. That's from what I can tell the story of every single Zelda game.
Nintendo games, their stories have never been their strong suits in a lot of them. I think the only thing that's really had a critically acclaimed story would be like fucking Paper Mario, and even it's only just like the
Yeah.
first three for that. But
Yeah, no, I would just get bored with that.
in terms of games, yeah, Breath of the Wild one, which to be honest, can't say I'm too surprised.
Tears of the Kingdom, not Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet, so I just think Breath of the Wild because it's pretty much Tears of the Kingdom is just built on Breath of the Wild. Anyway, next up we have Best Action Game. You wanted Ghost Runner 2 to win.
Disappointed.
My prediction
It
was,
should have won.
yeah, my prediction was Hi-Fi Rush. Armored Core 6-1, which I think I said I was like it could win, but I think it's going to be Hi-Fi Rush. Should have stuck with my gut.
Yeah. It should have been Ghost Runner 2.
I've not played Armored Core, but I've heard good things about it. Same with Ghost Runner 2. I've heard good things about it, but I've not played it. Like there's
That is purely from me. I know
Yeah.
that for a fact.
the one
It's just been me.
yeah. I think the one prediction we got right, and that was pretty much the easiest one, was that Dead Island 2 wouldn't win. That wasn't just shock to
yeah.
anyone. I think I genuinely would have actually been shocked if Dead Island 2 won. I would like that would have actually been the big shock of the awards for me. There was no way that was
Yeah.
winning. I haven't even heard of Remnant 2. Anyway, next
Cool.
up, best VR/AR game. This one actually did surprise me because I was like, there's no way they're going to give this one the win. So my prediction was Horizon, Call of the Mountain, and Resident Evil Village VR Mode 1. Now, I want to say
I don't
this
know about
much.
you, Ewan.
Go on.
I don't know about you, but I don't think it was a full game, more so a port of an already existing game to VR.
See-
I could be wrong.
You are wrong because it's not even a port. It's literally just an update. It's not a full game. They didn't release it separately. This is just an update to Resident Evil 8. So I don't know if it really should be here or not. Like I was like,
really
I was,
shouldn't.
I was like, oh, they're not. Same with Gran Turismo 7. That's not a built up from the ground up VR experience like Horizon or Humanity or Synapse. And that was like, oh, they're not going to give it to that. You know, they're not going to give it to just a simple VR mode. How wrong was I? But I mean, Resident Evil 8 is good. If you like Resident Evil, play it. It's a good game. Not much else to say on it.
Yeah.
Next up, best mobile game, aka the biggest robbery of the show. I wanted Hello Kitty Island Adventure to win. Fucking Honky Ponky Star Rail won.
To be fair, animated.
That's what I mean. Honky Ponky, Hanky Panky, you know? Close
Oh, yeah.
enough. Anyway, moving on. Best debut indie game. I wanted Pizza Tower to win, and Cocoon
Yeah.
won. Cool.
Cool.
There is something unfortunate that's come out of Cocoon winning. Fans of Pizza Tower have started review bombing Cocoon on Steam. Anyway, moving on. So next up we have Best Independent Game. We, I think, predicted Dave the Diver. Yeah, we predicted Dave the Diver, which technically
Yeah.
shouldn't be here, but we've already talked about that. And Sea of Stars won, which, yeah, makes sense. I've heard a lot of good things about Sea of Stars. So yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
Next up, oh god, we have Best Community Support. We predicted Cyberpunk would win, but I also said there was a chance Baldur's Gate could win, and you know what Baldur's Gate won, which I'm gonna say something right now. As much as I think CD Projekt Red have been really good in admitting their mistake with Cyberpunk and going back and fixing it, I wouldn't even say they fixed it. It's more like they just finished the game, and I don't think that should be celebrated. They lied, released an unfinished product, and then were like, wow, we're giving you guys free updates. And it's like, but most of the stuff was what you promised to be in the game at launch. That wasn't there. So I don't know if that should be celebrated or not. Whereas Baldur's Gate 3 did release in a finished state, and one of the first updates they put out for the game, like patches, the patch notes were so big that they literally couldn't put them on Steam. They had to put them somewhere else because there was like thousands of bug fixes and like tweaks made to the game. What are your thoughts on this, Sam?
First of all, you're a bastard for springing this onto me without any sort of warning, because now I have to think, which you know I don't like doing. the way I see it, ultimately, it shouldn't be celebrated, but given the state of just how every game's currently doing it, well, no, not even that actually. Yeah. Oh,
I would have liked Cyberpunk to win though, because like I said, because to be honest,
I feel like it.
there is a good and bad
I
to
still
it.
think.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Cyber CDPR is the best for doing what that at the moment. Where, again, it's not like what's an example? It's not like something like Starfield or Call of Duty where they've just not said anything and they're just sitting there thumbs up, just like, yeah, it was a success. No, CDPR know they fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
and they are still trying to fix it. They're at least, in my opinion, the best in terms of fucking up and then going back and fixing
Yeah.
it. Whereas Baldur's Gate, I feel like Baldur's Gate's community support is mostly just because it was it got popular for two reasons. One, it appealed to D&D nerds, and number two, it didn't have microtransactions or anything like that, which people seem to think is rare, not for games that are
I think.
you can find games
Yeah.
that are still decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not doing anything special. I still, to this day, do not know why Baldur's Gate is so popular, aside from just the fact that it's D&D.
I just think it was a really damn good RPG, and like word of mouth of its like. I think with Baldur's Gate, this is the biggest example I've ever seen of word of mouth spreading about how this game's like really great. Because
Yeah.
before I didn't even know Baldur's Gate 3 was coming out, and then when it came out and people got their hands on it, I couldn't escape it. It was everywhere because everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Hold on a second, guys, this game's really fucking good. Everyone should play this."
One of my mates who I was speaking to as the Game Awards was going, it was every single time Baldur's Gate won something, he was just like, yeah, no, deserved. And I'm just like, really? So you don't think this game deserved it instead? No, it should have been Baldur's Gate. And he was constantly defending it, even in categories where it made no sense to win. And I was just sitting there like, it's almost like a cult.
I
It's weird.
Yeah, I think the only category, well, the only two categories where I was like, Baldur's Gate 3 has to win this or it's a rob, is best multiplayer and best RPG. Like, that was logged in for
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate. But
Yeah, no, that I'll agree with.
Yeah.
Best community support, though. I don't see what Baldur's Gate's done that's so special in terms of community support, aside from just players enjoying the game.
and like I said, though, like the amount of patches and updates they've put out and the speed they've done it, as well as they have been quite open with their community, and they've told them, look, here's what we're doing, here's what we're working on, we're going to like balance this, we're going to balance that. Like, it's very much been like a like it says here, community support, transparency and responsiveness. From what I've seen from the Baldur's Gate like social media team, they have been on that. Like, they have fucking got that. So I would have liked Cyberpunk to win because like you said, it is, I think CDPR is really the first big AAA studio to be like, fuck, we fucked up. Like, they thought they could release it unfinished and people would be like, it's a bit buggy, but it's fine, like a Bethesda game. But, I mean, to be fair, I think at launch, from what I've seen, Cyberpunk was worse than a Bethesda game. But here's the difference between...
I can tell you right now, as a launch player, it was definitely worse than a Bethesda game. I don't think it was because they thought they would get away with it, though. Anybody with half a fucking brain would see that that thing was not ready for launch, and that it would be a complete cock-up. What I think happened was, and again, my understanding of it is that the executives sort of went, right, we are way over budget. Cyberpunk had been in development for like 8 years at this point, I think. Like, it had been announced all the way back in like 2012.
Yeah, it was announced in 2012,
so they were like,
but full development didn't start till after Witcher 3's final expansion finished. But there was a team working on it. But like the full studio didn't start till like 2018.
Yeah, they were like, right, we need to get this fucking thing out. This has been way too long. Everybody I was actually working on the game said, no, this is not ready. And they just like, well, tough shit, we're releasing it. And boom. That's what I think happened.
It's not the fault of the devs at all. Because all the devs have said, like, we didn't even want to make it for Xbox One and PS4, but they forced us to.
Yeah, it wasn't that they thought they would get away with it. It was just that the executives didn't quite understand just how bad the game was.
That's what I mean. Point. I think the executives thought we can get away with this. They're like, if we release this, people are going to say it's buggy, but it's fine.
I still don't think that. I do not think, again.
No, I think the executives are just, they don't respect players at all.
I don't think that even then, because again, if you're saying that, that implies they knew how bad the game would be. Anybody with half a brain would see that that would not work. Like, I do just think they assumed the game wouldn't be that bad, and that the developers were overplaying just how unready it was until it released, and they got absolutely fucking pounded.
No, I think they knew how bad it was, but they assumed players wouldn't realize. They'd be like, "Oh, they won't know. They're not developers. We are so much smarter than them in our suits and our ties."
I do not think that. That's.
I think I just kind of.
I'll agree with you. Most executives are stupid, but goddamn, they would have to be really stupid to do that.
Which wouldn't surprise me. I just kind of hate the rich. I think. I just assume they're
funny,
all
'cause I still love how Cyberpunk's story is about corporate greed, and then this is what we're talking about in relation to the game, where the executives fucked everything up.
There's poetry in that. Honestly, there is.
Yeah.
Life itself is poetry. You couldn't write this.
I wonder if it was intentional. Now that's a conspiracy theory.
This is like the fucking Sonic movie design where people thought the first one was like a marketing stunt. No. Now you're the idiot. That's what I say. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's move on. I think we've kind of said our piece on this.
Yeah.
Best ongoing. I think we can both agree this was deserved. Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
That.
I was really scared for Genshin Impact being there, but no, we've done it.
No,
we did it.
That was deserved.
It was the one thing Cyberpunk won.
Because honestly, putting aside my feelings on how that game launched, the state it launched in, before Phantom Liberties came out, 2023, Cyberpunk was finished.
Phantom Liberty!
Sorry, I don't know why I keep doing it. I think at this point I do it just to annoy you subconsciously. Yeah, but before Phantom Liberty came out, I was like, 2023, like when I played Cyberpunk last year in October, I was like, this is a finished game. So it's not a case of I think Phantom Liberty finished the game. This was a true, honest, okay, the game's done, we're going to work on something new. And from what I played of Phantom Liberty, it is really good. I played a little more since last time. Not a lot, but a little more. And I've genuinely really enjoyed myself. I'm waiting until I have just a ton of free time just to play it, which really I could have done this week because I wasn't in college much. But no, genuinely, well deserved for Phantom Liberty alone. Phantom Liberty was great.
Agreed. I've not really got much to say. Again, I agree with you. That you never played it on launch. I played it on launch. I played it on launch night, like at midnight. My God, that game was not ready for launch. So best ongoing makes perfect sense for it to win, given how far it's come in terms of again CDPR going right. This is shit. Fuck it. Let's go fix this. Not really much else to say there.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think the backlash to Cyberpunk would have been lessened if maybe like 3 months before launch they're like, hey, so the game's not going to be ready, but we're going to launch it as an early access title? Do you think that would have caused more uproar? That's something that just popped in my head just now. Because
I actually don't know.
Because they could have waved away all the bugs, but it's still early access. It's not done yet. But I think I don't know. I actually just thought of that.
Cyberpunk is not a game, in my opinion, that should be ever under the early access title. Like, they should have just delayed it again. I don't think there's any better way to do it aside from just delaying the fucking game again. You do not put single player games like that in early access that are heavily story driven. Shit like Satisfactory and that, sure, you know, because they're not story driven, it's just a factory game. Shit like what's another early access game that I'm trying to think of, like a multiplayer early access game. If it was that game, yeah, that's fine, because it's at least in a decent state anyway.
Yeah.
Same with Satisfactory. Like, they're all in decent states. They're just trying to tweak them about, and they've not got a set story, more so they're just getting the core gameplay going, seeing what the community thinks, and then building the story around that. Cyberpunk as a story-driven game never would ever have to be released in early access. Like, it just would not happen. It would not be a thing.
Because I also thought as well, just there when you were speaking, I was like, what if they decided to change the story? Like, what would happen if, like, it was early access? Like, oh, we're going to change the story.
No, because then they're completely ruining the impact of Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the reasons I love the game. one of the reasons I love the game so much is that this is gonna sound really cringy, but it did kind of change my life when I played it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I did that, had a life-changing experience with the game, and then they turned around and went, "Oh yeah, we've actually changed it," I would not be a happy man. I would not
Yeah.
be, I would not be smiling. I would that frown would not be upside down.
I just thought that just now that it was an odd hypothetical. Anyway, moving
Yeah.
on to games for fuck off, games for impact. No one cares. I didn't
It's
even
less than nobody.
I didn't even write down what we predicted for this. I just kind of fucking was like, whatever.
I think it was less that nobody cares, more so just nobody knows what the fuck these games are.
It doesn't make sense, and I'm not. Well done, this game. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Tisha.
T-shirt, something like that.
Tisha. Well done. Next up.
I think I voted for Goodbye Volcano High because it was the furry game.
Yeah. Next up.
Either way.
Oh yeah, by the way, about Goodbye Volcano High, one of the people I watched it with was like, this looks like a porn game, like a Rule 34 one. He's like, just the art style. He's like, I'm expecting one of them to pull a cock out.
That is the Game Awards trailer.
Anyway, we have innovation and accessibility. I said Spider-Man 2, just because usually Sony wins those awards, and Forza Motorsport one, so cool. Well done.
Yep.
Next up. Oh. Best
Oh,
performance.
I have some fucking sentences to say. I have a statement prepared for this fucking category.
Well done, Neil Newbin. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, but I've heard he's really good in it. It should have been Yuri Lowenthal. I've everyone nominated here. And we'll talk about who wasn't nominated in a second. But everyone nominated here, it should have been Yuri Lowenthal. I'm very biased in that because I fucking love Spider-Man. Even after I played Baldur's Gate, I'm probably still going to think that. Even if Neil Newbon could give the best performance anyone's ever given in the history of the world, and I would still think Yuri Lowenthal should have won. But I think overall, from what I've heard, the nominees were quite good this year. Like, everyone deserved to be here. Like, Ben Starr.
Oh, were they?
Hang on. There's a joke coming. Cameron Monaghan. Idris Elba's cardboard cutout. Because out of everyone here, he's the only one that didn't show up. Melanie Livered and the other two. But yeah, no, I really wanted to go to Yuri, but oh well. So, what's your thoughts on this, Sam?
Idris fucking Elba. I was already not happy with him being nominated here. I still think it should have been Songbird's VA that was here. She gave a much better performance than him. But you know what? Fair enough. He's a mainstream actor. They probably want him for the popularity points. Fine. Best performance comes up. Fucking Judge, whoever the fuck his dick is, comes on stage, starts chatting. The nominees, like, sitting in the crowd, the little, like, cameras come up. Everybody has a live camera. Except for one. Named Idris Elba, who just has his photo. The cunt did not even fucking show up!
See, I'm trying to look up right now, why wasn't he at the show? There's no answer.
Yeah, he just didn't fucking care. He's too good for the Game Awards. And all it did was disrespect the Game Awards as a show, disrespected me for fucking voting for him, thinking he would actually be appreciative, and disrespected his role in the fucking game. It very clearly shows he gives zero fucks about his role.
The fact you put yourself above his role in terms of importance.
Well, he clearly doesn't fucking think it's very important, does he?
My guess is maybe he was filming something and he couldn't get away from set. That's the only logical explanation I have.
No, still inexcusable. He should have fucking been there.
If it was the Oscars,
Regardless.
they would have let him go.
Do not care. He should have fucking been there.
No, that's what I mean. If it was the Oscars, they would have let him go in a heartbeat because it's the Game Awards. They don't care. Which is why I think that for a lot of the Game Awards for me, like, I don't remember if I said this to you, but it kind of felt like this was the gaming industry trying to suck up to films and TV with all, like, the film and TV stars they got in. It felt like they were, like, trying to get in with the cool kids, but it's like, no, do your own thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't try and pander to an audience who doesn't care anyway.
Genuinely, I'm happy Idris Elba didn't win that. If he's not even going to show up, he doesn't deserve to fucking win it.
Well, Huey Lowenthal.
It should have been Songbird's VA there. It really, really fucking should have been.
Just gonna move on.
Because I guarantee you, they would have probably showed up and they would have probably won it, all things considered.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on.
Ah,
Oh, best audio design. This makes me happy. Hi-Fi Rush won. I think that was also our prediction. Yeah, best audio Hi-Fi Rush. There we go. Cool. Well done, Hi-Fi Rush. The one I'm surprised it didn't win, best score in music. We predicted. Well, I think you also predicted Hi-Fi. No. Oh, actually, no, we didn't. Well, I didn't anyway. I predicted Tears of the Kingdom was going to win. I completely forgot about that. Checking my notes just now. I think I assumed it was more like kind of pompous and what the Game Awards would go for. But no, Final Fantasy 16 won, which genuinely surprised me. But everything I've seen of like post-show, apparently that was like the best received part of the game was the music. So maybe it wasn't that surprising. But you know, Hi-Fi Rush. I'm making up stuff now. Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush won. Well done, Hi-Fi Rush. On to the next one quickly. No, but Final Fantasy 16 won. So yeah. This one actually annoyed me.
yeah, no. Fucking how?
I don't know.
What even?
Pissed off. So my predictions were for this one either.
This is best art direction,
Yeah.
by the way. We're talking about people.
Yeah, best
at
art
home.
direction. So Alan Wake 2 was a winner, but we predicted. I think I predicted Hi-Fi Rush. You predicted Liza P.
Yeah.
Jesus.
How the fuck did Alan Wake 2 win?
I honestly thought that was like the. You know how every category usually has that one game that's like, why are you here? I thought Alan Wake 2 was going to be that.
Yeah.
Turns out we were wrong.
Genuinely stunned. And this is one of two categories that I don't think Alan Wake 2 should have won. My status on Discord says the other one if you want a quick teaser.
Oh, I'm aware. Best narrative. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
So
So it's as if I was just speaking about that
yeah,
one.
our prediction was Cyberpunk. I voted for Spider-Man because I like this story in Spider-Man 2. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, maybe it's not like the best Spider-Man story ever told, but it's still really good. I really enjoyed it. I think it deserves to be here. We thought Phantom Liberty was going to win. Alan Wake 2 won.
How? Like, genuinely how?
The floor is yours. I'm gonna let you take this one.
Right, my understanding of the Alan Wake 2 story, I've not played the game, I don't care about the game, so this is going to be very poor understanding and way to demonstrate here. But from what I could tell, it's something writer writes a story, and he gets trapped in it or something, and then the FBI investigates and, like, helps him get out of it or something. Am I right or wrong with that?
That's pretty close to the premise, yeah. So the premise of the game is Alan Wake's trapped in the like dark world, whatever it's called, where the stories he writes comes to life. The FBI agent is in the real world, seeing the effects of what he's writing in the real world. That's the setup and premise, and it's all the Alan Wake kind of explores like his inner psyche, that sort of thing. It's very reflective. I don't know what the FBI agent story is.
Right. I don't even know where to start with this. Like, I actually don't. At least with Baldur's Gate 3, again, I would have understand it's the D&D nerds having hard-ons that got that to win. I don't get how Alan Wake 2 wins against Phantom Liberty, though. Like, I genuinely do not. And I don't... Do you have any idea? Because I actually do not. I don't know where to start with this, because I don't know how that is a comparison that can be made.
I think it's maybe a bit controversial. I think it's unfair to compare the two because they're going for very different stories. But for me, with this type of thing, it's which story delivers its narrative the best. Like which is like this is what it's going for. This is the one that does it the best and presents it the best. I haven't got that far in Phantom Liberty or Alan Wake. I have not played Alan Wake 2. I am not at all informed enough to speak about this. But I want Phantom Liberty to win because I've heard amazing things about the story in that. Alan Wake 2...
It's so fucking good!
Not so much. I've heard from Alan Wake 2, the main thing I've heard about the writing is it's quite pretentious. That's what I've heard.
Pretentious?
Pretentious.
As in, like...
It's very up itself. It's like, we're so much better. It's smart and clever. Like that. That's the main thing I've heard about Alan Wake 2's story. It's that it's pretentious and not bad, but it's pretentious. That's what I've heard.
See, Phantom Liberty, I would not say has any issue. That's the Phantom Liberty literally beats out the base game for Cyberpunk, which was already my favorite story of all time. Like, it is such a good story, and it delivers itself in such a smart way. I do not get how Alan Wake 2 wins here. I really, really don't. And it is actually pissed me off that it has won.
I don't know.
It is so fucked.
You know what? If we're judging Phantom Liberty off, like, I'm just gonna go off my experience from the base game, which is what I actually speak about. I have never been more immersed in a narrative in an RPG before, until I played Cyberpunk. I don't know about Alan Wake 2. Couldn't tell you. Like I said,
Yeah,
the only
that's
thing I've
the
really
base
heard,
game.
Yeah, and you see Phantom Liberty is
That's
just
the
better.
base game.
But Liberty.
Phantom
Sorry.
Liberty is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it is one of the best deliveries of a narrative you will ever have in video gaming, period, if you're anything like me. I do not see how Phantom Liberty could be beat here. Final Fantasy, I don't know. Spider-Man 2, cute it's here, don't think it would win. Baldur's Gate 3 would just be D&D hard-ons bribing the judges. I don't know how the fuck
I
Alan
like how you're going,
perplexed.
D&D nerds and all that. You know D&D's a tabletop game. You know that's how Cyberpunk started?
Yeah, I know that's how Cyberpunk
So
started.
I could say Cyberpunk
The difference
nerds.
is
I'm going to start saying Cyberpunk nerds now.
difference is
Cyberpunk
didn't
nerds
go
are just
for the
mad
type-
they didn't get the Game Awards. Alan Wake 2
Cyberpunk
is
didn't
so
go
good.
for the top-down formula like Baldur's Gate did.
Alan Wake
Baldur's Gate
2
took
is
the
a
cheap
superior
option.
game. Alan Wake 2 is incredible. That's what I'm going to say.
Right,
No,
go buy it and play it then.
I wanted Phantom Liberty to win, to be honest.
Phantom Liberty should have won.
I mean,
It really should have.
Obviously, like I said, out of all these, the only one I've played from beginning to end is Spider-Man 2, and I loved it. The first game story is better, though. So, make it that what you will. Anyway, let's move on. So, on to...
I think we've got most of my ranting out of the way.
Best game direction. Now, Cyberpunk isn't here, so there can be no arguments had here.
Alan Wake 2.
Alan Wake 2 is the winner.
Again, believe it or not, this category, it makes sense to win, because I remember you telling me just how director-driven that game is.
I just realised I predicted Baldur's Gate for this, though. So,
To be fair, I think that also had an equal opportunity to win here.
yeah,
So.
it's just because Baldur's Gate's there. And Baldur's Gate won almost everything, so... But yeah, that actually doesn't surprise me, Alan Wake 2. It's very director-driven. I found out the other day the director of the game cast himself in 3 different roles in this game.
Really?
Yeah. As I mean, the writing's a bit up itself. But, you know, he's Max Payne, so it's whatever. He's allowed that.
Sure.
Anyway, let's go on to the big one. Which, to be honest, I don't think really there's a lot we can say about this game of the year.
Yeah, no. It was Baldur's Gate.
It was always going to be Baldur's Gate, let's be honest. There was no way in hell it wasn't going to be Baldur's Gate. When Tears of the Kingdom...
You say that, you were...
I thought Tears of the
You
Kingdom
say
had a
that.
chance.
Nah.
But it won as soon as... I think I said, though, might have to double check this, but my attitude is always, if a game that's nominated for Game of the Year also wins Best Action Adventure Game, there's a good chance it's not winning Game of the Year. And wouldn't you know, that's what happened. Tears of the Kingdom won Best Action Adventure Game, and Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year.
And Alan Wake 2 can eat my dick.
But it's by Epic Games Publishing. Lovely. You're really showing your maturity here. But, yeah, well done, Baldur's Gate. I want to say something quickly. Spider-Man 2 was nominated for 7 categories and didn't win a single award. That's kind of sad.
We at least won one.
That feels like bullying. I won Pikmin. That's my big win of the night, was Pikmin 4. But there we go. That was all of the winners of the Game of the Year and our reactions to them. You know how I said I thought this was going to be shorter than the original episode? Well, I know there's like 20 minutes or so I have to cut out. This is nearly 2 hours long, this recording, so this is actually longer.
Oh yeah.
We're still half the length of the actual Game Awards, and I think we talked about the awards more here than they fucking did. So that's a win to me.
Oh yeah.
But genuinely, all right. Final thoughts. What did you think of the Game Awards this year? We're not going to talk about the show this time. I think we've already talked about the show. What about the actual
Yeah.
awards themselves?
Cyberpunk should have won more. Beyond that, not really much for me to say because I only had one game I was rooting for.
Yeah, I honestly,
um,
I don't know. I thought most of what was given out, I was like, yeah, it's fair.
mm,
There wasn't really anything I was like, that's a massive snub. With the exception of best art direction for Hi-Fi Rush and best performance for Yuri Lowenthal. Aside from that, I
yeah.
don't. There wasn't much I was actually like, nope, that shouldn't have won. Just kind of a wet fart of a show, to be honest.
Yeah, I still don't think Alan Wake should have ever came close to winning art direction.
That was weird.
Like there was. You're saying most of them are fair. I think there were a couple of weird decisions throughout the night. I don't think it was entirely unreasonable, but it like raised an eyebrow or two.
If you say Pikmin 4, I will fucking strangle you.
I was not gonna say
Leave
Pikmin 4.
the Pikmin alone!
I was not gonna say Pikmin 4. You can have your Pikmin 4 Rule 34. That's
Forever.
okay.
Pikmin Forever. That's what it should have been called. Anyway, yeah, just kind of a wet fart, honestly, of an award show. I think we probably both would have been a bit more invested if we played more this year.
Yeah.
This is the problem: is we only between us both we played 5 games.
Yeah. I mean,
I wasn't really invested in the show this year. There wasn't a lot I was rooting for that I was like, that's gonna win.
nah, Cyberpunk should have still won.
That's the main takeaway. If you've watched this far, comment that. Comment Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty should have won.
Yeah.
Said it right.
Should have gotten Game of the Year, even though it's a DLC.
I think we should probably end on this. What do you think they should do next year? Because I want to talk about, should they add more categories? Because personally, I have a few ideas of what I think they should add, just to make the show a bit more well-rounded. First
They
of
should
all,
have a best expansion
yeah,
category.
that was the
I'll
first I was
that
going to say.
immediately.
Expansions,
Yeah.
they're becoming more and more common. Give us a best expansions category. It seems only
Yeah.
right. Best remake. We're getting a lot of remakes next year. Give us a best.
Yeah.
I would say do best remake / remaster. Do that.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
Best expansion, remake, remaster. I'm not really too sure beyond that.
I think another one they should do, and this is for the performance ones, they should do best lead performance and best supporting performance. That's what they should do. That to me makes a lot more sense than just having one all-encompassing. This is the best performance, because there's
best performance.
I mean, if we look at the best
performance is
performances
already.
right now, let's look at
It's already going to imply best lead performance, I would imagine.
Yeah, but if they're going to give a best supporting performance as well, I think they have to say this is the best lead performance. So it's not like best performance, best lead performance, and best supporting role. It's like split this into 2. Give us one for best leads, and then give us one for best supporting. Because there's probably a lot of supporting like roles out there this year that were incredible that didn't get nominated because of just how great the leads were. And it's something that like the Oscars do, where they split it into best leading and best supporting. And that's what I think these should do, is they should split into that to give those supporting roles more recognition. Because remember, it's not that they're small roles; they're small actors. Okay. And Idris Elba was tiny in that audience; you couldn't see him because he wasn't there.
I was trying to think of a way to incorporate an Idris Elba joke into that.
Yeah, but no, I think they should do that. Best original song. More and more games nowadays are having like songs to market them. This year, I think especially needed a best original song, mostly because I just want Herald of Darkness to win something. But no, I think they should do best original song as well. Trying to think, what other categories could there be?
Best. I don't know. Best flute guy.
Best flute guy. Same guy every year gets the same award.
Yeah.
He upgraded
He
this
was
year.
back.
You got something massive as well. I don't know
Yeah,
instance that well. He got a massive fucking like thing. I don't even think he
he
was
was the
playing it, to be
old
honest.
Pedro Eustache, or I don't know how you pronounce his last name. I just pronounce it Eustache. But like
Mhm.
he had like he was the only one standing in that choir.
Yeah.
That
And,
boy, that boy,
well,
he had his lead
it's
role.
not quite as an orchestra.
Orchestra, same
It's
difference.
embarrassing. I didn't know I was working with an amateur. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying that till I fucking die, apparently. Uh, Generally though, it was. I think the show being as bad as it was really just put me off this year. It was hard to get
Yeah,
invested in awards when they rapid fired through like 5 categories at a time and went, okay guys, here's half an hour more of trailers because we know you love trailers. Like it was kind of hard to get
yeah.
invested after that.
I I like the trailers. I love the trailers. Just space out the awards between them a bit more evenly, and you're good. I
Hmm.
don't even care about the runtimes. I take back what I said at the start. Like, just literally space it out. So that I'm not thinking, when the hell's this next award? Because it's like 4 a.m. Like, I don't mind watching the trailers. It gives me an insight as to what's coming out. Just at the same time, space out the awards. It's in your name.
Hmm.
You should be able to do
Like I
that.
said, it's embarrassed to be an award show. That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it. But no, I keep saying but like that, like a fucking drum. Well done, Baldur's Gate. We
Yeah.
said that at the end of the last one. I'm saying it at this one. Well done.
Well done.
When I get paid, I'm definitely gonna buy it and play it and give it a go. I think it's
I will
deserved it.
not. I
I
will not be buying it because I'm not a D&D man. I will continue.
I've dabbled in it. I wouldn't say I'm a mega fan, but I've tried it and it was all right.
I'll continue playing Cyberpunk until the heat death of the universe.
I also need to finish Cyberpunk, so
Yeah.
I'll do
I'm
that
surprised.
first.
Do you know the thing? I'm sad that The Witcher 4 didn't have a trailer. Because we got a teaser for that ages ago, and we've still not heard anything about it. I was kind of half hoping that we would get something from CDPR.
It's like the thing companies do where they announce, "Hey, we're working on this," and then you don't see it for years.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, all they teased was a Lynx thing, I think it was, Witcher clan. I don't know what, I can't remember what they're called. It has been months since I last played The Witcher 3. I need to go back into it and finally finish Blood and Wine. But yeah, no, I'm sad we didn't get it from CDPR because they're the only game company I actually half trust at this point.
I think the only thing I was really wanting to see at the Game Awards this year in terms of trailers, I was kind of hoping we'd get a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, but I think we're probably not going to get anything on that until Rebirth comes out and that's done.
Mm.
Well done, Baldur's Gate. That's all I have to say at this point. Well done.
Well done, Baldur's Gate.
You won.
Well done. Yeah.
You won the
Oh,
Game
I
Awards.
do
And
have
you won
another
our
thing.
hearts. Go on.
I just want to say, well done, Baldur's Gate.
Well done, Baldur's Gate. You won the Game Awards and you won
Yeah.
our hearts.
Can we please fucking end this recording?
Yes, let's end. Anyway, we've been spinning our wheels long enough. If you've listened this far, thank you very much. Have yourselves a fantastic night. And thank you, Baldur's Gate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done, Baldur's Gate.
Well done.
Thank you for
Well done
changing
and
my
thank
life.
you. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. And I love you, Baldur's
I
Gate.
love you, Baldur's Gate.